Hello, I'm the 10-minute English teacher. Let's get you exam ready. Today we're going to be looking at Lord of the Flies by William Golding, and we are going to be experts in all things chapter 4 and 5. Okay, here's the action for chapter 4. You're welcome to pause here and have a little look at these images and see how many of these that you know. These are the key events that happen in the chapter, and I'm going to walk you through them now. Okay, we meet Roger at the beginning of the chapter, and he stands amongst falling coconuts as if he doesn't care if he lives or dies, and he's throwing stones at another boy but aiming to miss. He is changing though. Rules and order are losing their grip on him. He walks through sandcastles made by the little uns, the smallest boys on the island, kicks them over and upsets them. Then the attention turns to Jack. He's painting his face at this point, and savagery is rising as a challenge to civilization. He sees godlike power in his reflection and sees an awesome stranger. Then our attention is turned by Golding to Piggy and Ralph. They're in conversation. Piggy suggests making a sundial and Ralph is dismissive, which worries us given how Jack and his hunters are moving away from civilised behaviour. Smoke on the horizon from a boat is seen, but it disappears as the signal fire has gone out. It's been left unattended by the hunters. As Ralph screams, "Come back," at the horizon, Jack and his hunters appear, painted and chanting with a dead pig. So Jack's finally killed his pig and arrives with it, just at that moment that Ralph's realised their chance of rescue has gone. Ralph and Jack's completely hysterical and covered in blood and filled with excitement. They argue, and Piggy is also furious about the chance of rescue having gone and joins in reprimanding Jack. Jack punches Piggy in the stomach and smacks his head, which makes the symbolic glasses, that symbol for intelligence, they fall to the floor and the lens is cracked. Ralph doesn't really effectively stand up to Jack in this moment. After a reluctant apology from Jack, a fire's made, the pig is cooked, and Jack feeds the group as he retells the story of killing the pig. He refuses to give Piggy food, and Ralph seems defeated here, and he eats his food like a wolf. And at the end of the chapter, it's obvious that Ralph is losing the respect of the group to Jack, and at the very end, he assertively calls for an assembly. And there again, the key events of chapter 4. We meet Roger. Jack paints his face. Piggy suggests a sundial. A boat is seen and then disappears because the fire's gone out. They've gone hunting and they have killed a pig. Piggy is punched and his glasses break. Ralph eats his meat like a wolf and Piggy isn't given any. And then he realises there's a need to call an assembly. Here are quotes that you should know that link to those quick key moments. It's an opportunity for you to pause and familiarise yourself with those before we move on to chapter 5. Okay, chapter 5. Here are the key moments for chapter 5. You're welcome to pause here and see if you can recall which these moments may be. And I'm going to move on now, though, if otherwise, for you to explore those with me. Okay, the chapter starts with Ralph waiting for the others to join him, and he's planning his assembly and thinking carefully about what he wants to say. And it's at this point that he thinks about Piggy and how actually he's someone that's quite valuable to him and he needs Piggy's thinking skills to support him. It's probably a little bit too late for that. Jack's already gaining a huge amount of influence. So Ralph has his assembly and he makes an impassioned speech about survival and order and being civilised and rules and respect. And as soon as he's finished and he puts the conch down, Jack takes it and then he starts to speak about the beast and promises protection from it, and then very much undermines a lot of the things that Ralph's had to say. Simon ponders the idea of there being a beast and says maybe there is a beast, and then mulls that over and says maybe it's only us. It's an interesting moment. It's not clear to us whether he's considering the possibility of there being a beast or whether he's doing something a little bit more interesting. Maybe he's pondering the evil tendencies of humanity, which is really what the novel's all about. And then right at the end of the chapter, Jack disrespects the rules and then he takes his hunters away to dance and chant in a moment of madness. So they disappear from the beach. The little uns are all crying and worried and filled with fear. And we're left at the very end of that chapter with Simon, Piggy and Ralph, who formed a sort of an alliance here, But Ralph is thinking about giving up his leadership. He doesn't want to be chief any longer, and it's Simon that encourages him to do so. Piggy says that if Ralph doesn't go on being chief, he's likely to be hurt by Jack. So it ends with Ralph agreeing that he'll continue, but clearly he knows that his leadership is hanging on by a thread, and that Jack's becoming a real threat to his leadership. And those are the images again, so you should now be confident being able to know what those key moments in the chapter are. You don't need to know what happens in each chapter and reference the chapter number in an exam or in your mocks, but you do need to know what the key events are in the novel to be able to make really great points and to show your understanding. Here are quotes that you should know. You can take the time now to familiarise yourselves with those and be able to think about which key moment in the text they come from. Okay, check out the other videos on my channel. I'll continue to add content, and feel free to ask for something you'd like to see me cover in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share, and keep revising.